Vicpothesis. So Vicpothesis has been watching a lot of social media and stuff, and who knows what's true and what's not true. But I'll tell you something that I saw and that made me think, and that is they were talking about the Crimea, the area that supposedly started the Ukraine-Russian thing, where the Russians invaded first, and then that whole, I guess it'd be the eastern portion, the front or area of Ukraine, and in this supposedly, I guess it's a neutral site, but it doesn't make a difference. But what they're saying is that 75% of that area, even though it was Ukraine, identifies as Russians. And this is why the Russians, said they did it. It's the same thing in World War II with Hitler. Anyway, but a different area. So then I'm thinking, you know what? Why not just let that area be Ukraine, like it was, and just deport those people? Deport them all back to Russia if they identify as Russians. No? Isn't that what we do in America? Don't we? Okay, then let's say they're legal. Then leave them there, but just because they identify as Russians, then have loyalty to Ukraine. It's the same thing with the Southwest. They can make the same argument, right? Mexico, that's saying all the whole Southwest, 75%, I don't know what the percentages are. Let's just say 60% identifies as Mexicans. So it all belongs back to Mexico. They don't have the capabilities to take it back, but you know what I mean. And rather than do that, what our government is saying, and if these are lawbreakers and all that, then they do deserve and need to be deported. Anybody that's a criminal. The other part is an entirely different issue. Depends what country they came from and what are the reasons. But anyway, that's another story. The point is the Ukraine thing. So we either we deport these people, or the people that are here and they grew up here, or grandparents grew up here, or even the great-grand, even the people that the borders got moved on them that were still here. They pledge loyalty to the United States of America, and they're Americans now. So no matter, even if they identify as a part of Mexico, as being Mexican or whatever, right? So what's our issue with not supporting Ukraine and their sovereignty? Just like we want our sovereignty. We don't want anybody else coming in our country that doesn't, have allegiance to our country. So that's my take on watching that, and that's kind of like hopefully that's a little example that people can understand their thing, the Ukrainian issue. That's my take on that. So that's a little hypothesis. I don't know when I'm going to post it, but probably tonight. And it's Vicpothesis is probably going to be off the grid for a week or two here shortly. I got to fly around the world and check things out and see what's going on. So let's see what happens. And I'm kidding, because Vicpothesis don't want to lie to you. I might mentally fly around the world, or spend some time reading and do some research or stuff, but that's about as far as around the world I'm going. So for now, that was my thought on that whole thing, because it's just getting out of control, and it's affecting our government policy so much, and it's affecting the people in this country so much, and it leads them in more division within our country because of that. But if you just look at our own country, I think that that should say something that I think it's something we can understand. Can we? Because then you could say the Great Plains belong to the Native Americans, right? And give it back to them, and that's their land because they were there. But the whole America. But I'm just saying, because the farmlands and stuff. It's anybody can say that and do that. These are the established borders. Hey, that's what's going on in the Middle East. Come on, man. And that truly was and that's entirely a different subject. But there's scholarly people and historians that can tell you about that. Or you can read about it on your own. But read something that's factual as much as possible. That not something that's biased as to somebody trying to make a point for one person or the other. And I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to relate how these people this country feels, because it's the same thing in our country. We have the same issues, right? Hey, look at the West Coast, the San Joaquin Valley, all the fertile land of the fruits and vegetables and the vineyards, And hey, what was the gold rush at? Now you got it up in Alaska, right? They had that up there too. They have all the resources up there, but that was bought and paid for. So that's a different story entirely, right? Whereas the other one was conquered, so to speak. But that's history and that's it. So you can't try to rewrite history by with a gun and that. Now, not nowadays. I guess you can, but what are you writing it with? You're writing it with people's blood. Lots of people's blood. So, I mean, just think about the humanity of it. If you care about humanity, and hey, if we want to stop supporting them with arms, that's fine. Somebody will support them with arms, but then when they reap the rewards of regaining their borders and their sovereignty, and then we want something from them, and those that helped them, how can we can't ask for something then? We either go in and help them or we don't. That's my take on it. We're not Switzerland, so. But we always helped the underdogs. I thought. I don't know who we helped that wasn't an underdog. I'm sure we have in this in some way, shape, or form. But other than subverting countries, that and putting in our own regimes there. Okay, so let me talk about the mineral thing, and I don't know if I spoke on this before, but I'm going to speak on it now, and that's the South Africa. So Mandela was in prison, right? They let him go, right? And then he got the country's his, right? And so now it's whatever percentage of it is of Africans or black people or indigenous people or whatever you want to say. But the people that are running the mines there still own the mines, are still reaping the rewards of the mines, not the people of South Africa. I don't know if you're aware of that. It's documented. If you just have to do a little research, there's a book called The Shock Doctrine that actually speaks to that part of it. And there's more than that. And the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, that's how they work, right? So after any, it's called the shock doctrine. After any event that something happens, well, everybody's still in shock. They go in there and they insert their will. After the tsunami, all the countries that were devastated by that, the International Monetary Fund assisted those countries, but not without something in the future return. And so that's where, in reality, Ukraine's at now. But the shock didn't work. There was a little, those people are used to war. Come on, man. So the doctrine didn't work there, and that's kind of what it is. And it's kind of there's some relation to that and the when they shock your brain, EC. I can't remember what to call it. Whatever. Anyway. ECT, I think it is. So, because they shock somebody and then they disrupt their everything, and then they're like, okay, now you can insert in, now you can talk to them, and now you can bring them back and to help them get back in focus. And when they get back in focus, it's too late. Whatever you've done is done. In real rudimentary and crude way of saying it, and in my unprofessional way, just from my reading of things. Of saying it. So I'm not trying to come across as that. That's why I always encourage you to look at stuff and read it yourself. But for my own stuff that I've read and saw in the past. Anyway, there's a lot there, I guess, to digest. This is Vicpothesis. Have a good day. Take care of yourself and your families. Vicpothesis signing off.